Today, we're diving into a massive paradigm shift. It's an idea that can literally transform how you experience your life, your health, your relationships, the whole shebang. The core concept is this: the world you see around you isn't this independent, objective thing just happening to you. Actually, it's just a reflection of your own mind. We're going to break down exactly how healing your mind is, well, the absolutely only true way to heal your reality. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this with a pretty profound piece of logic. Think about it. If you look in a mirror and see a frown on your face, you don't try to change your reflection by taking a hammer and smashing the glass. That'd be completely absurd. Yet when we face problems in our everyday environment, our very first instinct is almost always to fight the external circumstances. We argue, we force things, we destroy things, but just like you can't change your physical face by attacking a mirror, you absolutely cannot sustainably fix your environment without changing the thing it's actually reflecting.
To really wrap our heads around this, we're looking through the lens of Neville Goddard's work. Neville was a total pioneer when it came to altering your concept of self. He taught that our deep-seated beliefs, those quiet internal dialogues we have all day, and our unspoken feelings, they are the true architects of our reality. Setting this firm philosophical foundation is absolutely crucial because it helps us see how our inner world dictates literally every single outer experience we have.
So, Part 1, the world as a mirror.
I really want you to try on a radical new way of looking at your surroundings from here on out. What if you stop seeing the things, the events, and the people around you as completely separate from you? Instead, start viewing them as this giant, incredibly accurate 3D mirror that's just bouncing your innermost states right back at you. To put it as directly as possible, the external world is objectified consciousness, down to the absolute smallest, tiniest detail. The environment you live in, the situations you encounter, even the way people treat you, it's all simply your own consciousness solidified into physical form. Your world is basically your mind pushed out into physical space. Wild, right?
Now, Part 2, the trap of suppressed emotions.
So, if the world perfectly reflects our consciousness, what happens when we're carrying around a bunch of hidden pain? Well, this is where we kind of accidentally sabotage ourselves and our manifestations without even realizing what we're doing. Based on the source text, we really need to redefine what disease actually is. It's not always just some random biological accident. A lot of the time, it's an unexpressed, incredibly intense feeling of injustice or frustration. When you deeply feel you've been wronged, but you just swallow that emotion, that energy doesn't just poof, disappear. It stays locked inside you, seeking expression. Validating your emotional pain is step one for sure, but realizing you actually have the power to cure it by shifting your internal state, that's where true empowerment lies.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because it follows a very specific pipeline that, honestly, we almost always ignore. Step 1, there's a suppressed emotional wound. Maybe it's resentment, a feeling of deep unfairness, or just unvoiced anger. Step 2, this solidifies into an unconscious internal feeling. It's like wearing tinted glasses every single day that completely color how you view the world. And step 3, because your consciousness must be objectified, this internal state manifests as physical disease and environmental suffering. The inner psychological wound literally morphs into an outer physical reality.
You see, your physical body is essentially acting as an emotional filter. It bears the undeniable physical marks of your most dominant, unexpressed feelings. Emotional disturbances, especially those deeply suppressed feelings, are the root cause of so much physical suffering. It's like when you harbor feelings of regret or failure or anger, your body and your world take those raw emotions and filter them into tangible, often super painful experiences.
Okay, here's the real turning point of our explainer. Part 3, Consciousness Creates Reality. Now that we've kind of unpacked how the problem is formed, let's shift gears from the trap of suffering to realizing our ultimate creative power. Because you're not at the mercy of this mirror, you are the one projecting the image. To wield this power, we need to contrast two totally different approaches to life. First, there's the frustrating human habit, what we call the will of man. This is when we constantly say things like, "I will be well," or "I will be successful." It's this stressful, exhausting attempt to force external change in the future. Contrast that with the will of God, which is the divine power of simply altering your internal state right here, right now, by declaring, "I am well."
So why does this distinction matter so much? Well, because continually hoping you will be secretly locks you into the reality of currently being sick. To say "I will be" is essentially just admitting "I am not." Take a moment to actually digest that. If you feel that you will be something someday, you are flat out acknowledging a current state of absolute lack. And remember the rule of the mirror. It only reflects what you are right now, not what you hope to become down the line. We absolutely have to drive home this singular truth. There is only one living reality in the entire universe, and it is your own consciousness. That's it. There are no secondary causes, things like luck, fate, or even germs. They're just the means by which your dominant state of consciousness expresses itself. If you want to change what you're experiencing, there is literally only one place you need to look: within.
Which brings us to the climax. Part 4. Changing the concept of self.
And this brilliantly illustrates our practical solution. Since you can't just reach out and change the reflection directly, you have to change your internal self to manipulate the outer world. As seen in our source text, imagination is the true cornerstone. It's the unshakable foundation of reality. The text describes it as the foundation stone that the builders rejected, but which is actually the most secure base you could ever possibly have. Your imagination isn't just for, idle daydreaming. It's the divine creative force where you actively construct the entirely new concept of yourself.
Okay, so what are the exact practical steps you need to take? First off, you must completely and firmly deny the evidence of your physical senses if they're contradicting what you want. Just ignore them. Second, you have to expand your mind and actually feel the wish fulfilled in your imagination right now. Give it rich sensory vividness. Make it real. And third, you must step into a deeply peaceful state of gratitude, quietly accepting that it's already a done deal in the realm of consciousness.
That peaceful state of gratitude, it's perfectly captured by the phrase, "Father, I thank you." Feeling genuine, warm gratitude for a desire way before it physically appears is the ultimate proof that your internal state has actually shifted. Think about it. You can't truly be thankful for something unless you deeply feel you already have it, right? This gratitude is exactly what gently seals in that new state of consciousness.
Moving to our final and maybe most important step, Part 5, leave the mirror alone. So the crucial point is this. Once you've made that internal shift, you have to get out of your own way and let the outside world catch up. Do not fight the reflection. Change the concept of self. You must completely ignore the current evidence of your physical senses if they're still showing you limitations. Seriously, leave the outside world alone. Stop trying to manipulate people, stop arguing with circumstances, and definitely stop trying to force outcomes. Just maintain your new inner state and let the mirror do what it naturally does. Reflect the new you.
It all comes full circle back to that timeless law, as within, so without. There can be absolutely no outer change without an inner change first. The circumstances of your life are just too closely tied to your conception of yourself for it to work any other way. If you consistently change the inner arrangement of your mind, the outer world literally has no choice but to reshape itself in perfect harmony.
Which leaves us with one deeply provocative final question for you to really chew on. Look at your life right now, your health, your finances, your relationships. If the entire world is simply a mirror perfectly reflecting your internal state back to you at every single moment, who do you say that you are?